Leah Fasten,
Well, hello, Kyle Shannon.
co-hostess with the mostest. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm really good.
Yeah?
I'm very excited about my background from some generating we've done in the guild.
I know the art guild is cranking out some art.
It is, and I'm very excited about the Midjourney tuning feature that was released. I've been playing with that a lot this week, and I feel like I'm finally able to get some work in Midjourney that feels like a little bit in my own voice, not quite so much Midjourney. So that's been really cool, which is what it's been all about in the guild, trying to get our voices in there.
Staggering. So. I didn't even know Midjourney had a tuning release.
Someone posted it in a Discord, and you posted it in Discord, yeah. And I thought, what is this? What? And I've been getting kind of stuck in like LoRa training and Stable Diffusion, so it was so refreshing to be able to just like #tune and start doing stuff.
Oh, that's amazing!
It's great.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, it's really cool. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm completely discombobulated.
Okay.
Because the new Chat GPT is not like the old Chat GPT, and it's just I kind of feel like everything we learned to do over the past year, like all the rules have just changed, and like where we're going to be spending our time is going to shift and things like that. So, but I did get access to it today, so I will be demoing it. So that's super cool. Well,
as we have learned.
They're not available for a few weeks, but I'm going to demo the agent maker in the playground.
If anything has been consistent this year in the salon, it's that nothing is consistent and things keep changing. So how would it be anything else but totally discombobulating?
Yeah, exactly. So welcome everybody. If you're new here, welcome to the salon. Leah and I started this a year ago in a month, basically.
Almost a year. Crazy.
So December 5th, the December 5th meeting is going to be the 1-year anniversary of the salon and the 1-year anniversary of Chat GPT. So we started this, shortly after
crazy
that. So that's just crazy.
What a year.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen and give you a little bit of a sneak peek of the new Mighty Networks, which is super exciting.
It's so exciting.
So this is the welcome screen. So when you join Mighty Networks, so we're going to be switching officially to Mighty Networks also on December 5th. We're going to start early access next salon meeting. But we've got it here. The way Mighty Networks works, over on the left-hand side, you have a feed that's just like Facebook. Just anything you're subscribed to kind of shows up, and you can scroll through it. And then there's sort of a little welcome area with rules like don't be a jerk. And then there's a community section with a water cooler and show and tell. And then we've got all the guilds. And so it's good. It's got calendaring built in. But anyway, the one of the things about the salon, it's a community of AI adventurers, we call ourselves. And so we're very excited that the community is growing, and we also want to make sure that as it grows, we retain a lot of what it is. So the first thing we do on the welcome page is talk about who we are. I'll just read a little bit of it because I just like it. Jane wrote this. The AI Salon's a ragtag group of misfits, ne'er-do-wells, and miscreants who have gathered to explore the uncharted wilderness of generative AI, where everyone from entrepreneurs to educators, from healthcare workers to creatives, and everyone in between. Dun, dun, dun. And we have values. So Leah, you want to talk about our values? Because I think this is really, really what the salon's about. And what I'm learning is that we really do have something special and different here. And I think it's largely because of who we show up as. So
exactly. So let's just go through them. I love them. We'll start with curiosity. We started the salon because we were curious. We wanted to know more. We're eager to learn new things, ask questions, and experiment. Generosity, we're willing to share our knowledge, our resources, and feedback with others, and to support each other's growth and development. There's so much to learn. We can't possibly keep up. Even if it's obvious to you, it may not be to the person next to you. So share as you learn. Exploration. We're excited to try new things, take risks, and embrace uncertainty and ambiguity. Act as if nobody knows what they're doing, because nobody knows what they're doing. Collaboration. We look for opportunities to work with others, to exchange ideas, and to create something greater than ourselves. Find a partner or a posse, start a project, start 10. We won't judge you, and who knows, you might just make a friend or the next $1 billion venture. Ooh. Inclusion. We actively seek out and value diverse perspectives and experiences, recognizing that our differences make us stronger. We create an environment where everyone feels seen, heard, and respected, and where everyone has an equal opportunity to contribute and succeed. And empathy. We are mindful of the impact of our work on others, and we strive to create work that is respectful, inclusive, and meaningful. AI is one of the most transformative technological advances in humanity. Humans matter. Take each other in. Act from a place of compassion.
I loved how you read those tonight. You went all in.
Thank you. I felt them. I felt them in my heart.
It was really good. It was really good.
Thanks.
Didn't you have a the empathy one for me is the one recently, because I just, so many people are so afraid of this stuff and so afraid of AI, and I mean, you know, this group for the most part isn't, but that's one that one of the things I've been hearing more and more as people are talking about AI more and more, like people are coming at them like with anger or with fear, like, why are you doing that, things like that, and like, you know, I think empathy is the only way through that. So
I think it's pretty safe to say that everyone everywhere could use a lot of empathy right now. Like, I think fear is just like, the whole world needs empathy. Like, let's all stand in other people's shoes for a little bit, and let's like not let the fear hold us back.
Exactly.
We're all figuring out what it means to be human right now, and I think empathy is the only way through.
Totally agree. Didn't you have weren't you, you said you were at a kind of cool retreat in AI here for the
Yes, I was at a retreat in the Hudson Valley last week, where we had an opportunity to really take a look at the advertising world as well as AI and where they're intersecting and where they intersect with a creative life. So it was a really interesting meetup of women in AI, women in advertising, and sort of freelance creatives coming together, talking about launching ideas and businesses, hatching things, creativity connected to femininity and mothering.
Nice.
There was a sound bath.
Nice.
It's fantastic. We talked a lot about the approach of foundational models and how to build foundational models, how to think about foundational models, and then what can sit on top of those, and how important embracing a creative process of iteration is all throughout the creative process.
Wow.
Yeah, really cool.
I can't even imagine considering a foundational model at this point. I can barely just use like the consumer crap.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about data, and like, I don't have a totally firm grasp on how data, how it's created, how it works, where it goes after it leaves me. And something I found out very interesting is that companies own the technology to process the data, but they don't necessarily own our data unless we sign something that gives it to them, which I didn't realize, that we still own our data, even though the companies and brands will own the technology to process the data. I thought that was something big difference for me. That was sort of mind shifting, mind bending.
Yeah, interesting. All right, good. So here's what we're going to do tonight. So normally we do round robin introductions and introduce everyone, but these meetings have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I don't think that's sustainable anymore. It was almost an hour last meeting of introductions, and I think people like, for the most part, introducing themselves, but after an hour it just got a little long. So what I'd like to do, if you're new here, if this is your first time at the salon, and you're willing to, I'd love for you to introduce yourself in the spirit of generosity. So if you're online, just raise your hand. We'll have Ken call on you, and I'd just love to know like who you are, you know, what you do, and where are you on this AI adventure, you know, and anywhere is fine, even if it's, I don't know yet.
Do we got anybody in Denver you want to start with, or just go virtual first?
Let's see you. Oh, you're not going to introduce yourself? Okay, talk loud.
I brought him.
Yeah, they can see you.
Wave so they know who it is.
Oh, there we go. Hey guys, Mike Weber here in Denver. Just interested in learning about the new Chat GPT stuff just got released and interested in being a part of the community.
Awesome. Welcome. All right. To the rest of the world.
Okay, I guess we will start with Suze S.
Hello, everybody. I'm actually in Denver. I just didn't make it out today. I have been using GPT and a bunch of other AI programs probably for the last 6 months. And I was introduced to the salon from my friend Eric, and they suggested that I show up here. So I'm here to learn and share. Hey, I see your thumb there, buddy. And yeah, excited to be here.
Awesome. Welcome.
Good to have you, Suze. Next up, Jason Wolkowitz.
Hello, I'm here in Chicago, and I've had a number of different lives. Like had video production company for a while, did CD-ROM development work back in the day, and am now with Tribune Publishing, and just have started to work with some of the AI. Came across the salon through TikTok, and just excited to do more.
Great. Welcome.
Good to have you here, Jason. Next up, we have Jonathan Marcus.
Sorry, I had myself muted. Yes, I am Jonathan, aka Kyle's #1 fan, and I am a freelance FileMaker developer and hoping to just kind of see how I can incorporate AI into my business. And that's about it.
Great. Welcome.
Good to have you here, Jonathan. Looks like Courtney Parsons, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. I'm here from DC, and I'm here to learn more just about how I can start incorporating AI into like my content creation stuff at my job, which I do a little bit now, but like I'm always happy to learn more. So I'm excited to just be here and listen.
Awesome.
Good to have you here, Courtney. Ross Parent, you're up next. Ross, you're muted.
Russ went BRB a little while back. He may not be back.
Okay, we'll circle back around at the end. Tim Shuffle, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. I'm in Alaska. My name's Tim, and I'm retired family doc. Just retired about the same time that OpenAI released Chat GPT. So I've been doing a deep dive into it since then. My main interest is in healthcare operations and process improvement and that kind of stuff. So I see a lot of potential. And I've done some consulting with that in the past with system design. So I know there's a lot to learn. So I appreciate it.
There's a lot to learn. There's also, we'll talk about guilds in a moment here, but we just started a healthcare guild. So there might be
awesome.
a sub community here for you to geek out with.
Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty rural, so there's not a lot of opportunity here for that.
Good to have you here, Tim. Let's go with Robert Rossi. You're up next.
Hey, Kyle. Hey, everyone. I'm Robert Rossi, and I'm an electrical nuclear engineer, and I am here to learn about Chat GPT 4. Kyle, I enjoy the TikToks every night, man. I'll tell you. I'm also kind of a secret cyborg at my job. I tried telling people about it, and trying to get them, interested in it, and they don't see it coming. And it's made my life a lot easier at work. Just summarizing emails and going through papers. It's been great, and I'm here to learn.
Nobody knows why Robert's gotten so much more productive recently, right? And by the way, you know now with GPT Vision we can screenshot your whiteboard and figure out all your nuclear schematics. So you better be careful. Yeah.
I'm the president of the B9 Builders Club. That's the robot from Lost in Space. I've got there's 1,500 followers on Facebook, and we're building these robots in our basement. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh,
or not.
Nice.
Yeah, like full scale. So they dubbed me as their leader, and I'm creating an AI for it. So it should be interesting. That's what's on the backboard.
Well, and Chat GPT outputs proper JSON now, so I think your
Yep.
job got a lot easier.
It really, Kyle, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm kind of just hanging on with full grip to
I'm
see
going to
where
show
this is
something
going.
tonight that just blew my mind. So yeah, okay, cool. Nice to meet you.
All
That's
right,
great.
good to have you here, Robert. Next up, Ben Murphy.
Hi, everybody. It's so funny that you said that because I was already testing vision to see if it was going to catch his whiteboard. So I'm Ann Murphy. I live in Oregon, and I think like other people have said, Kyle Shannon is one of my 2 gateway drugs into this crazy AI world. It's him and Rachel Woods that I have to blame for this complete, transformation of my life, honestly. And I guess what I want to say right now is that some of the most beautiful relationships that I have ever had in my life have come as a result of just getting involved with AI people like you all. And I found my tribe, and I now have 5 new best friends who we've never met each other in person, but we love each other deeply. We laid out on the train tracks for them, and we started as an accountability group, and now we're launching more. Now we're launching a company, and we all agreed the other day that the very best possible outcome is that we are friends until the day we die.
Wow!
Wow!
That is so I'm telling you, yeah. So I'm here for all of it. And I'm here for the relationships. So
Yeah.
something about
Excellent.
this.
Love that. Love that,
Yeah.
Ann. Awesome. Welcome.
All right, thanks, Ann. Pate Motter, you're up next.
Yep. Hi. So I've been in the AI game, I guess, for 3 or 4 years now. I've been in Discord and on the lives for a while now, but I've never been able to make it to a salon because I'm on the West Coast. I work at Google doing TPU inference performance, so I usually have a 4 p.m. meeting that conflicts with this, so finally able to join. And yeah, I like just interacting with people, helping out where I can, helping other, explain some of the inner workings of certain things, and love seeing what everybody's using it for and how they're using it. It's been fascinating to see it from that side. So I've been really thankful for that. It's been nice.
Yeah, and Pete, the AI Mechanics Guild, and he's the reason I know the difference between a CPU and a GPU, or TPU and a GPU.
Yep.
So happy you're here.
Yep. Thanks.
Good to have you, Pate. Eric Sanner, you're not new here, are you? Okay, go ahead, Eric.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we've heard enough from you, Eric.
Okay. All right, moving on to Kelly Camp. You're up next.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
And there's Sherry. I see lots of people that I don't actually know, but I know very well. I'm Kelly Camp. I go by Source Camp. So if you guys are confused, I'm Source Camp. And I live in Dallas, Texas. And I, again, have found my tribe as well. I try to talk to other people about this, and they look at me like I've got 3 eyeballs. So it's really nice to have a group of people I can kind of say anything to, ask all kinds of crazy questions, talk about bots, whatever. And I'm accepted. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Welcome. We like you the way you are.
Thank you.
Good to have you here, Kelly. And
Thanks.
Swinging back around to Ross. Ross, are you there? You're up next. Okay, I'm going to lower Ross's hand.
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, there he is.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been joining for a couple of weeks or a couple of meetings now, but I've never had a chance to introduce myself. I'm driving at the moment, so that's why I'm not going to go on camera. But I'm into robotics. I'm into AI as far as how it might be able to help me with robotics. And I'm also, I just love the whole thing about how it just helps you get through the whole idea and get your thoughts down on paper more quickly. So that's how I've been using Chat GPT at this point. So it's been a lot of fun.
Fantastic. And we have one more here in Denver. You haven't introduced yourself before, right?
Hi, name is
Yeah,
Winston.
I'm in Denver too. So one of these days I'll show up down there.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Hi, name is Winston. New to town, and just thought I'd come to the meetup.
Great. Where are you on the AI?
Novice. I'm a
Novice.
software engineer who's kind of learning,
Okay.
making my way through tutorials and that kind of thing.
Cool.
I've dabbled a bit. I played around with Storia today, which is pretty neat. You
Yeah.
feed it in a screenplay, and it gives you story points.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's really nice. I have a pile of screenplays I could do that with. All right.
Looks like we got one more hand raised. Lori Blair, you're up.
Hey, so I'm Silver Fox, and
Oh.
I have stage fright like you wouldn't believe. So the only reason I came on is because I see Kelly here, I see Sherry here, and Kyle. So
Oh, that's so
a lot
awesome.
of other names that I see in the lives, which I can't live without. So today, as an example, I was walking down a trail with a good friend of mine, and she was telling me about some things that were going on. And I said, "You know who you could ask?" And she's like, "What?" She goes, "Who?" And I said, "Pie. Pie would be great." And she goes, "Lori, stop it!" I see her in the middle of the woods. I almost turned on the app and just held it towards her. I'm learning. I'm a computer nerd from way, way back. So I used to have a business back in the maybe even the 70s. I don't even know. But so I'm here to absorb it, and I can't even believe the friends that I've met, and I'm going to cry about it. So,
All right. All right. Yay.
thanks,
Hi,
guys.
Silver Fox.
Love you, love you, love you.
Well, thanks for introducing yourself, Lori. It looks like we have another hand raised. Emil Gilliam, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Eliza. I'm actually Emil's wife. I'm the plus one. I'm in the car with him and our toddler. So I wanted to tell you who I am. He's a software engineer who is really, really super into AI. I'm an artist. I'm a traditional artist. I do some digital. And he actually introduced me to the new DALL-E function on Chat GPT 4. I am in love with it because I use it to help me with my painting for reference material.
And are you late?
I'm sorry?
Are you late?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
I asked if you were late.
Oh, because I'm talking too fast? I don't understand the question, but
The joke is you're always late on the live.
oh, yeah, absolutely. So basically, recently I'm working on a mural, and I needed help with some animal posings, and Google Images were no help. So I was able to use DALL-E and the AI generator to help me create a pose for a squirrel. And it turns out that the pose I wanted was anatomically incorrect. So GPT-4 actually guided me through how to correct that. And with its suggestions, I found a more dynamic pose that I then was able to translate to my painting. So I'm very excited about that.
Wow.
And I had a recent experience on Facebook with a traditional art group that said, "Oh, who uses AI?" And I said, "Me, and I love it." And I got completely bullied, and I was called a hack. I was called an idiot. I was just called horrible things.
Wow.
And I was told I'm not a real artist, despite the fact I have 2 art degrees. And it was just really hurtful. And they said, "Oh, you're just stealing art." I'm like, who am I stealing from? Myself? I mean, I could be so lucky that my artwork would get used for a data set. You know, I would feel honored.
Yeah.
But my experience is that I don't like getting bullied by so-called artists because I use this as a tool. And so I was complaining to my husband, and he said, "Why don't you come to this group? Find like-minded people to understand and supportive."
AI Anonymous. Well,
we're happy to have you here. And email, I am personally very, very interested in how to push AI and art and generation into our own voices. And in the Art Girl, we've been doing exercises from the Artist Way, as well as some of Rick Rubin's exercises from his book to help us get to some edges. So I do hope you'll come join us because it's my thing. I'm excited about it.
fantastic. So let's
Happy
move
to have
on.
you here.
I want to move on and jump into. I got issues. Hang on. It's not looking good.
It hasn't stopped you yet, Kyle.
I probably now. Ba-dum-bum. Oh boy, how ugly is it? It's coming back. I need you
Welcome
now.
amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves, everybody. Okay, so one of the things we added about 2 months ago now were guilds, and the guilds are basically sub-communities within Salon. And they're headed up by individuals, obviously. Basically, how the guilds were determined was people that were sort of naturally stepping up and showed passion about something. We just said, hey, you're really passionate about that. You want to lead a guild? And many of them said, not necessarily, but they've done it. And the guilds have become these really amazing, dynamic places. So how you join a guild? Right now, we're on Discord. We are shifting off of Discord in a month, but I would strongly encourage you to join Discord. So Ken, if you can, or Leah, can you put the invite to the Discord in the chat? And
Got it. I put it a little bit higher, but I will put it back in again.
Yeah, just pop it in again.
Yeah, putting it in right now.
So if you've never been in Discord, you can see my screen, right? I'm sharing. Okay. Yep. All these little circles down the left-hand side, these are all different communities. This little one I've got selected here is the Salon community. And there's an introduce yourself section. If you do join, don't just wave, come in here and wave, come in here and tell us a little bit about yourself. And then there's resources, but the guilds are right up top. And at the very first channel in the guild section is called Join a Guild. And in the absolute failure of interface design, you have the names of the guilds with the little icons here, and then to actually join a guild you have to click on one of the icons at the bottom. So don't click on the icon next to the guild name because nothing will happen. But if you find the guild you want to join up here and then click on it down here, then you join. Now, what happens in Discord is you're basically just assigned a role. You can actually go look at all the guilds, so you can go see what's going on in the guilds before you join them. But if you join them, you get assigned a role in Discord, and then that way the people, the leadership of that guild can reach out to you and things like that. So that's how you join them. So with that, let's flip over and do some updates from the guild masters. So Peter, are you here? And
I am. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Leah.
Hi, Peter.
I run the AI 101 Guild. And the idea of the AI 101 Guild is kind of, let's get started a little bit. So I've got meetings usually every week. They end up being on a different time, different day and time. And I announce that in the channel a few days before. Right now, you can vote in, or maybe, I don't know if vote is the right word, but you can put your availability into a scheduling poll, and that will help me choose what time to meet later this week. The idea of AI 101 is let's get started with AI, and we can talk about LLMs or image generation or whatever else you want to. We've had some great meetings where we get together and chat about all different kinds of stuff. Sometimes we stay pretty elementary, sometimes we get really advanced. So I also like when we talk about how to teach other people about AI. So the things that I've learned, what can I help with somebody else with? So that's another thing we talk about. And that's me. Look for Peter's AI 101 on Discord, and I'll see you there.
Beautiful. Thanks, Peter. Leah.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Leah. And I run the Art Guild, or Leah. I don't love being called the Art Guild because I think we're all doing a lot of art here, but we'll call it Leah's Art Guild. I'm very interested in the creative process. I've been a photographer for 20 years plus, and worked with all kinds of really interesting clients in very collaborative ways. And I think a lot about the creative process and how does the art that we look at get made, and how is art an act of service to something even bigger and greater? And I think really cool things start to happen when we show up in service to our voice and to our practice of art. And how can we start using generative art processes to do that? So we are wrapping up a 6-week, once a week program that was happening on Sundays. This Sunday is our last one. You are welcome to drop in, where I've been taking lots of different prompts and ideas from different artist processes and applying them to generative AI. And I think we've gotten some pretty cool work from it. It's a mix of writing, free writing, prompting, and mixing it up with our generative art tool of choice. And then over the next couple weeks, I will be playing around with different art jams, different morning and middays. So start keeping an eye out for some morning and midday jams that will be dropping in, that are drop-in. You can come, it'll be an hour. We will do some free writing. We will do some playing with prompts. We'll try some new tools. It'll be a playground, a place to come play and generate together. And I will be moving the times around just to kind of see what's popular and when people can make it and that kind of thing. So keep an eye on the chat for that, and make sure you get signed up. We'd love to see you there. And someone put in the chat, do I have to be an artist? And what I'm going to say is we're all artists. And the really cool thing about generative art is that we all now have a tool to start pushing our own voices forward. So everyone come, please. You're welcome.
Beautiful. Jane, I think I saw you sneak in here. Are you in here?
I did. I got here just in time.
Nice. Hello.
Hey. Hello. My name is Jane. I'm the guild master for the Writers Guild. And what I like to emphasize is that we are not an AI group that talks about writing. We are a writing group that talks about how to use AI as a tool. And it is just a tool. I don't think it does, it writes, but it's not the writer for you. It's important to understand how it works. So that's what we like to talk about. Our recent meeting, we talked about how to use Chat GPT as a kind of writing partner, someone who as a kind of tool for bouncing off ideas. And one of our members used it to experiment with different styles, and she was able to maybe write some scenes that helped her figure out where she was going with the work that she was doing. So we're going to start exploring how to use Chat GPT as a kind of creative writing partner to develop ideas, and even possibly as a accountability groups, so that we're getting our projects working on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Ken.
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. I am Ken. I'm the leader of the AI for Business Guild, and we would love to have everyone that's interested in how AI is changing the workforce. If you're interested in business, AI business trends, AI business news, if you're interested in how to use AI to find a job or how to find a job in AI, we love talking about that kind of stuff. We love learning new AI tools that'll help us be more efficient in our jobs or in the workforce in general. We love talking about case studies, solving business problems using AI. So if any of that interests you, we would love to have you come join the AI for Business Guild. We are in the process of setting up our first AI for Business Guild meeting here pretty soon. So that first meeting has not yet happened. You haven't missed it yet. It's going to be happening here very soon, though. So I would highly encourage anybody that's interested in these topics, come join us, and we'd love to have you.
Great. Rodney. Oh, wait, hold.
All right.
Ken, this is Mike Bench.
All right, we should be good now. Hi, I'm Brad Perkins. I lead the Entrepreneurship Guild. Slight difference from what Ken is working on. Ken's group focus is business. There's some crossovers when we talk about coming trends inside business. But the entrepreneurship focuses more on the startup aspect of it and more of business leaders and how to adapt. So ours is kind of shifting formats a little bit. We've had some presentations where we talk about, how important it is to kind of grow our networks in the age of AI, as well as how to stack AI tools to complete workflows. We've kind of migrated into more discussion based where we talk about new age business models, future forecasting. We'll talk about startup needs when it comes to what teams and resources that you need. And spoiler alert, it's not as many people as you traditionally would have needed because of AI. And then some AI business opportunities. So we usually gather on opposite Thursdays from the salon. So our next meeting would be November 16th. And it's more discussion where we're just kind of learning from each other and fellow kind of entrepreneurial minded people who are starting up businesses or wanting to start up businesses, and, some tips and tricks that we can all kind of share together. So hope you guys can join us.
Okay.
Beautiful. Pete. Are you there, Pete?
Yep, joining. So we haven't had an official meeting. It's just been kind of different posts and talking about things. Trying to remember, some of the recent talks have been about kind of quantization methods that Roger's brought up. Of basically what can we get away with, and kind of those deep, dark inner workings of the mysterious latent spaces between the encoder and decoder. And we've talked a little bit about different inference stuff that comes out. So those are my postings related to work stuff, or that I find interesting, and some discussions about just kind of somebody joined yesterday, and we were starting to talk about kind of what the kind of current curriculum is in courses for colleges. So he was providing some examples of the kind of course load of what, at least at his university, what the coursework was like. And so, yeah, that's kind of the update. Nothing too earth-shattering, but enjoyable.
Okay, good. So go geek out there.
Yeah.
And then finally, the newest guild is the Healthcare Guild. And Sherry, you want to say a little bit about where you guys are, because it's brand new and I know it's still forming.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Hi guys, I'm Sherry Banks. I have jumped, no parachute, and going in. So I haven't really introduced myself. I'm going to put a welcome video on the guild, but we're just Wacky Wednesday. We're trying to put the play back into healthcare. We're a pretty how are we going to say? We're kind of salty in a way, and kind of found you, and a lot of the people that are conjuring up is more of an advocacy group. It's turning out to be. We're going to be meeting up on every Wacky Wednesday at 4 p.m. But our first meeting's tomorrow. Nice. And we were going to focus on Poe, and I'm probably going to put that on there still, but that might be going out the window, and we're going to just wing it. My background is nursing for over 30 years, but I've also played with computer tools. And this is really looking like the JSON group I was in called BuzzTouch. You can look it up, where we did natural language and made a JSON thing and went up to the app store. So I'm having a deja vu thing. So I'm really excited to bring that to the group, to get that healthcare knowledge to change healthcare. So
fantastic.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Amazing,
thank you so much, Sherry. That's amazing. And just again, if you join the Discord, go to the guild section, the top channel, join a guild. You'll see this list. Here's the guilds that you can join, and you join by clicking the little icon on the bottom. Okay. So that's that. Okay. I mentioned before, we're transitioning to Mighty Networks, which is a web-based community tool. It's got calendaring. It's super cool. So we're going to do a sneak peek, meaning we're going to let in, we'll probably start transitioning some people from guilds over the week of the 21st meeting, and then we'll do the official launch on December 5th. One of the questions that has come up a lot is, will Discord still exist? And the answer is yes. We're gonna move the guilds out of Discord, but things like Midjourney, building bots, geeking out, and doing things where you might want to do some development in Discord, we're gonna leave it there, assuming that it's still active. It'll be much more simple than it is now. But we're going to leave it there so people can go there and geek out. And, to the extent that that is still active, we'll keep that going. So that is going to still exist. One of the things, so we've never done this before. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. I've never asked for donations before. Mighty Networks, the level that we need to really support this community is about $120 a month. And our first payment is coming up 10 days next week. So if you scan this QR code, I can also put a link in the chat if need be. But if you could scan the QR code, anything that you can give, it's just an open-ended thing. We were thinking, like, on a score of 1 to 100, how much do you hate Discord, right? But anything you can give to support that would be great. It's something that we need to cover at some point, and we don't really have membership fees or anything like that. So if you can do that, that would be awesome. Okay. So just really quickly, I want to do a little bit of news, and then I want to demo some of the OpenAI stuff. So on the right-hand side there, that's a screenshot of the new interface. The updates yesterday, because it was a developers conference, they kind of munged a couple of things together. They started out talking about GPT-4 Turbo, and they were talking about a number of things that were relevant to developers more than necessarily consumers. Then they sort of flipped into Chat GPT mode, which is kind of the consumer mode. Then they flipped back to developer mode. So what I tried to do here was just kind of split those two. So if it's not really clear to you, Chat GPT is an application that sits on top of GPT-4, the foundational model. And the developers that go to the playground, the platform.openai.com/playground, that's where they're developing things that are like Chat GPT. So those are two distinct worlds. And the playground, you can do things that kind of look and feel like Chat GPT, but it's really a more development environment. And then ChatGPT is the $20 a month. You get all this stuff. So the announcements for ChatGPT itself, it went true multimodal. That's what I'll be showing you today. So it's no longer those distinct modes that you have to switch between. It's just all one box now, and it just sort of figures it out and does it. It's been a little wonky today. They increased the date of the data set to April 2023 from September 2021. And Sam Altman said they're going to try to do that more. And the really big thing there was this idea of custom GPTs. The GPT builder's not live yet, but I'll show you some of their GPTs. But this is basically a Poe killer. So a lot of people have been building bots on Poe. These are like Poe bots, but on steroids. You're going to be able to publish them. You'll be able to do data analysis within them. You'll be able to upload files to them. So there's a thing called retrieval. So if you wanted to do, I don't know, something on a sales technique that you've got, and you've got PDF documents of your sales documentation, you basically upload that. And so you're going to be able to make a custom GPT trained on your data. And then at the end of the month, they're launching a GPT store. So think the App Store. And if your app is, they're calling it GPT, which I think is brilliant branding. They're not calling it a bot. People are afraid of bots. It has a bad connotation, and bots just historically have been shitty. So calling them GPTs is pretty smart. But if your GPT is popular and gets a lot of traffic, they're actually going to be doing rev sharing. So basically individuals, the other thing about the I can't demo it, but the thing about the bot maker is that it uses ChatGPT to write most of the bot for you. So you basically just tell it what you want it to do, and it writes all the stuff. You don't have to. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So that's on the Chat GPT side. Then on the developer side, GPT-4 Turbo, the really big thing here, the new Chat GPT uses Chat GPT-4 Turbo. So all of these advantages actually do migrate over to Chat GPT. The big one for me is 128,000 token context window. So what that means is you can basically put in a 300-page book into the prompt and it will be able to read it. Yeah, and on the developer side, it's sort of 2.75x cheaper for, sort of averaging prompt and return tokens. It's faster. It also does true JSON output now. So if you're programming, you don't have to muck with it to try to get it to do JSON. You can just define the JSON you want it to output, and then it does. There's higher rate limits. There's fine tuning now on GPT 3.5 16K, as well as early access to GPT-4 fine tuning. And then there's now RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So if you've played around or heard of LangChain, it's some of the kind of stuff that's doing. So, and then Whisper 3 is coming out, which is apparently can do longer files, more languages, and that's audio to text transcription. And then they also gave access to text-to-speech, GPT Vision, and DALL-E 3 at the API level. Like, this all came out yesterday. Like, this was an insane set of announcements. An insane set of announcements.
Increase the capability of chat like
by 10x, by many x. And that's why I was saying it's like it's really hard to, like I said, I was discombobulated because it's just like I don't even know where to, like, every single one of these bullet points is probably a rabbit hole you could run down, right? So and then XAI announced Grok. Now the thing about Grok is that it's going to be tied into Twitter data. So you'll be able to, it's a large language model, but you'll be able to get more misinformation faster.
Yes.
So, all right. Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. All right. So here is the new Chat GPT. What's going on? Why? Come on. Okay. Here's the new Chat GPT interface. So down the left-hand side, you've got normal Chat GPT here, which now notice there's no sort of left and right 3.5 and 4. It's now a drop-down menu here. Again, the reason to do 3.5 is it's faster, but 4 now kind of does everything. And then you also notice I've got these other bots here. I've got a creative writing one, a sous chef one, a game time one, and then this explore button. So this they stole right off of Poe. But basically, this is where you'll go explore all of the these things called GPTs. This is also where you'll create a GPT, but that's coming soon. It says it'll be available in the coming weeks. So probably in 2 to 3 weeks, you'll be able to make your own in this interface. I'm going to show you the playground interface where you can do some things. But these are ones that they gave you. So there's a DALL-E GPT, a data analysis one, a GPT Classic. If you don't want it to do all the cool stuff, you can go back to the old one that doesn't do the cool stuff. They've got something that explains board games to you, some that make images. There's a tech support advisor. So there's just a handful of these that are just examples. And then, and then they're kind of specialized, right? So we'll do game time. Like, how do you play Monopoly? Yeah. And, it's been trained on all that sort of stuff. So it goes through there. Let me go back here. So all of the modes of ChatGPT now exist within this. So if I just want to say, what's the weather tomorrow in Denver? Browsing with Bing. And there's a cool little sort of progress indicator as it's doing what it's doing. So kind of nice little interface. It shows you a little bit of what it's doing, but not too much. And so it went off on the internet and got that. It's going to be Is it going to be 38? Wasn't it like 80 today?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Denver.
I mean, what I don't quite understand when it says it updated to April 2023 versus it has access to the internet.
Yeah. So the base model is trained up to April 2023. And then basically when you put in something like give me the weather, it does some logic that says, hey, if the base model has the information, grab it from there. If it doesn't, go do a search. Then it goes and does a search, pulls the information back with that, and then stitches that together into an answer. All right. The other thing you can do here is I can upload an image. So let me see. Right. So there's a whiteboard image. I'm going to say, what is this? And I happen to know this is an international food ordering app brainstorming session. The image you've uploaded appears to be a photo of a whiteboard for a user interface. It seems to outline the ordering process with an airport context. The UI is broken down, flight status, alerts, blah, blah, blah. So it can see. I could also say, could you make me an image that might be used to market this app? So again, we're doing DALL-E 3. So there it says creating images. So now it's creating images in the context of whatever else I'm doing. I could upload a CSV file into here and have it analyze it and make charts and graphs. I can, right? So that whole idea of having to switch to these different modes is gone. And we're starting to see the idea of just the everything app, where we're going to have a single interface that kind of does everything. So there's our little airport.
Number 2.
Very good.
Boom, there you have it. Right. So literally going from I forget who it was before that said, like, the idea of pulling an idea out of your head and manifesting it really quickly.
Now could you get the code for that screen?
Right.
Like the way that screen's.
Yeah.
What do you mean the code?
Well,
Write the code.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably.
Run one of those two.
Yeah.
Please write the code for both the back end and the front end for the screen on the right. So yes.
Will it compile? Maybe not.
Yeah.
A little back and
But
forth.
it's code. It's code. So
Back and forth to get it working.
Getting it close. Oh yeah.
Flash,
Here's item
nice.
1. Yeah.
Caesar salad.
$10.
right. So yeah, and it's you know it's truncating the list to just show you that it can work.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it in HTML.
Yeah. Okay. So let me. So anyway, so that's the new Chat GPT.
Right. Seriously.
I'm gonna also flip over. So in Playground, if you've been in Playground before, you know, you had chat mode where you've got your system message on the left and then you've got the chat on the right, and you pick your different models over here. So the top one is the new GPT-4 Turbo. All of that remains the same, but there's this new mode called Assistant. And this is basically where you can create one of those GPTs. This is the developer version of GPTs, basically. But so I wrote, you know, 70s muscle car expert. You're an expert on 1970s muscle cars from America. No matter what anyone asks you, find a way to turn it around and talk about the car that it reminds you of, and create a list of trivia to catch their attention. Then start a dialogue about what their favorite cars are from the era, right? And then I can also add in functions. So if you're a programmer and you've got API access to something, you can go play with that. You can turn on code interpreter and you can turn on retrieval. So retrieval is I can upload some files. So let's say I've got text or PDF or CSV files that I want to be used as the data, that when someone uses this bot, when it gives them an answer, if it needs something specific from your data set, it can pull. This is full on, you know, sophisticated application development. And basically the consumer version of this is what the bot builder is on the Chat GPT side. So if you want to go play with these now, you can do it on the playground. And then basically how you run it is you just say, let's see, what country are croissants from? And then I'll add that and run it. And so being a 70s muscle car expert, he should be able to turn this around into, here we go. Croissants are buttery, flaky pastries famously associated with France, although their roots go back to Austria. There you go. Called kip frills. The way croissants layers are folded, they bring to mind the 1970 American muscle car, particularly because of their curves and meticulous crafting. Speaking of meticulous craftsmanship, that reminds me of a 1970 Chevelle SS. Okay, so this whole idea of being able to create a really specialized GPT application and then publish that, whether it's sharing it internally in a company or externally to the world, wild. I wanted to show one other thing. So the API, they gave API access to GPT Vision and TTS, or text to speech, yesterday. And I stumbled upon this dude from yesterday to today wrote this, like made this. I'm just like, what world are we in?
No audio.
Yeah, not sure we're getting audio, Kyle.
Okay. Yeah.
So need money for a computer upgrade.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. So what it's doing is he's taking a screenshot of a video game every 15 seconds. He's using computer vision to determine what's going on in the game, and then using text to voice to commentate it. So the game is playing and it's commentating it. So if you go to Twitter right now and just look up, GPT-4 TTS game, there's another one. Someone did a soccer game where Messi was running down the field and he was grabbing a frame, I think a frame every second, and basically making dynamic, or I don't know how dynamic it is. I don't know how long the processing is, but they're basically making commentary of video games and just with two API calls, right? So again, like the amount of input versus the amount of output we're entering right now is just insane.
Like, just off the top of my head, 10 seconds of thinking, there's so many professions that like sign language interpreters, audiobook readers. Like, geez,
yeah.
I'm thinking like prison yard monitoring. It's like what's happening in the prison.
That they've already got. Okay. So anyway, I know I went through that really quick, but I want to turn the meeting over to Cyndi Coon. So Cyndi is a futurist. I'll let her introduce herself. She's amazing. She's going to walk us through some stuff. If you have not signed up for the Discord, we're going to do some show and telling over on the Discord. So she's going to walk us through something. So the talky part of the meeting is slowing down. We're going to turn it over to Cyndi and take it away. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited to hear your perspective on. You've been thinking about the future for a while, and I feel like it showed up. So can you help us make sense of this? But welcome.
Hi, I'm super excited to be here. I've been here before, but not in the let's talk about the future capacity. I've been a play along like everybody else. So I'll just share quickly who I am and then talk a little bit about a couple things that Kyle just asked me to think about before coming. And we'll go from there, and we're going to do some builds that I thought would be fun tonight. So I'm an applied futurist, and that means my futuring builds things. So I'm not a think tanker, I'm a maker. I'm also a human ecosystem builder. So I build ecosystems around really interesting nodes that need longevity. I'm a writer and I'm a researcher, and a lot of my research is based in the experiential space. So I look a lot at what the humans are up to. I'm a humans person. That is the most important thing to all the work that I do. If you find me on LinkedIn, I call myself a time traveler. And that's because in my practice, I spend most of my days 10 years in the future, looking at what's going on out there at the two labs that I'm a founder and a co-founder of, which is the Threat Casting Lab at Arizona State University. I'm the co-founder of, and in that lab, we look at the big, gnarly, wicked threats for US government, military, industry, as well as other countries and folks like NATO and the UN. And then in the Applied Futures Lab, which is the fun we're going to have tonight, we look more at future casting, which is opportunities to enable instead of, or sometimes blended with, our work looking at threats where we're trying to disrupt, mitigate, or recover from them. So I wear both hats. Also, I'm trained as a creative. So how I came to be here is a long and winding journey, like many of you, I'm sure. I'm a super nerd, so that starts it off. And my training, my degrees are all in fine art. And then my futures training is, as most futures trainings, apprentice. So I learned from the guy who invented threat casting, Brian David Johnson. So that's me. That's what I'm up to. And I have insatiable curiosity that gets me into no good all the time. And so a year ago, when Chat came out, I just was like, I'm all into this. So I have been, and I've been hanging out with Kyle and other folks in the AI space for a bit. And when he asked me to come on tonight, I wasn't sure, especially after the last session. I don't know if that guy's here, but like the independent raspberry of setting up your own thing, I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I don't think I'm as cool as him. So if you were here last time, I'll do my best. So the thoughts Kyle just asked me to talk about, that on the other side of our build, you all can ask me more questions, is really about the before times leading to today. So, you know, I thought about the before times, the yesterday times at about, you know, 9 a.m. my time before that announcement, and then today. And in conjunction with all of that, I had the opportunity to go to a couple interesting sessions. I won't get into the topics, but I'll give you the highlights, which is a really interesting juxtaposition of what goes on in here, which is for me a playground and a playland of just, let's just see how far we can push it. I really love this community in that it's a play space. So my other hat in life, I went to a meetup with all of my buddies last night in virtually in the national security and intelligence space. And why that's interesting, and I bring that up because I know a lot of people, maybe not in here as much, but you probably have people you're working with. We were joking about our families calling us a part of a cult earlier, so I'm sure you're dealing with this. A lot of the fear. So I've heard folks on Kyle's Live and in the salons talking about, you know, the threat space that this poses. So I'll just say this. If you work in the threat space, if you are a part of the national security community or the national intelligence community, You already know what you're up to and what you're working on, and keep going. And some of you may be on this call tonight. If you don't work in that space, don't take this time to be fearful, and let your family and friends know too. The people who are supposed to keep us safe, they're on it. They're working on it. And so the independent people who don't know anything about AI and don't know anything about technology, let it go. You weren't worried about all the concerns with your cell phone. So the biggest thing I want to say is I am a part of that community. There's a lot of worry. Are things going to go bad? Yes. Yes, they are. Are things going to go humanity level epic bad? No, they are not. You know why? Because I bet there are people on this call right now who are a part of Y2K. And to this day, the publics will still say, well, that was so dumb. They scared us and nothing ever happened. And those who have people who were around at the time, you know better. The reason nothing ever happened because there was a whole community of people who kicked their own asses to make sure the publics never experienced it. So that's what's up this time. Yeah, shit's going to go awry. I mean, there are going to be bad outcomes. There are going to be things that go bad, but there are things that are going bad right now in spaces we all live in. The other hat I wear in life is I work in the digital equity space. And that's about, I don't know if you all know this, but part of the Broadband Infrastructure Act of the Biden administration, just as a little side note, identifies 25% of the US population does not have access to the internet. Whoa. That's wild. It's true. Whoa. And so, you know what? In my threat space work, I've had to look at, great, we're going to spend $65 billion with a B, getting people affordable, reliable access to the internet. Then what happens? Some really great, amazing shit, and then some really bad shit happens too. So that's how we live. We have to just be ready to mitigate. So that's the biggest thing I wanted to say about this whole fear concern. And when people come at you, just lean in and say, oh my God, I didn't realize you started working in national security and intelligence. Cool, cool. Because people got this. Okay, so that's the top of it. And, you know, here's the other thing I want you to just have as a little fun piece of ammunition. And I bet there are people on this call who know this. When 9/11 happened, there's a commission report. You can look it up, you can download it, and you can read it. I'm sure there are about 200 of us in the country who actually read this thing. I did, but what I will tell you, we have HT Snow Day, pull it up. So, okay, so you can probably find the page this is on, but here's the thing about where I feel like we're at right now. I feel like we are at a 9/11 commission report moment. And I will tell you why I bring that up. Because there is the key finding. When you go to findings at the very end, the key finding about why the commission determined 9/11 occurred, I bet very few, if any of you know the reason. The number one finding: failure of imagination. Huh. That's why. And that failure of imagination is identified as all of the agencies didn't talk to each other about the weird shit they were seeing. And if they would have said, I know this is really weird, but they would have connected dots about all the really weird shit. So here's why it's important for us to keep going. And as a futurist, people love to ask me, you know, what's the job my kid should have? And where should I be focused? And it's like, focus where there's community and people who you can talk to. There is nothing better than this community right now. And, you know, it's just really important to remember we've been here before is the other thing. I'm actually producing right now a little piece that I'm going to turn into a graphic that helps people go, you know, it's like a little guide to go to your family when they call you a part of the cult or they say, I'm really fearful. We've been here before. Okay, I know this feels really epic to us and it's because we're in it. But here's the thing. There are so many examples in history when we have displaced people in the workforce. Yeah. Not only that, there's so many examples when we have freaked people out completely, when we have given voice to the little people like we're doing right now. A parallel of what's going on right now is the Gutenberg press. Just get your head around that. What we did, we had, look at our whole culture and how we changed and grew and everybody got more information. That also ruined a lot of people's lives. A lot of people's lives in a lot of spectrums were destroyed during that time. We never talk about that because we all feel collectively about the gain. So just know this is not our first rodeo as humanity. We will get through this too. And then the next thing, just to really talk about super quick before we start having fun. Today, I went to a briefing from the People-Centered Internet. I serve on their board. So I attended the briefing this morning where two individuals gave, David Bray and Marcy Harris, if any of you know them, the government legislative policy concept around the announcement yesterday and also last week's White House executive order around AI, which here's the funny thing to me. So this is the largest executive order that's ever been issued that anybody can really find. It's 120 some pages, which is crazy town. And so first, I think it's funny because lots of people are complaining about how big it is, but then I think we can put that in Chat GPT. So it's all good. But just to give you the perspective of where that group is thinking, since I gave you the National Security and Intelligence group. So that whole group and that hat I wear in that life, they're really thinking about what's going to happen. And Kyle and I have talked about this several times. What's going to happen when all of this just really, truly is integrated into everything, whether people like it or not? They can no longer buy glasses without AI in it. They can no longer have phones, watches, all the wearables. So what happens to people then? So that's the other thing I want to share. I've seen in the lives where people have said, is anybody using this for good? Are people concerning themselves about, you know, the people who are afraid? So I wanted to add that level. And if you get any of that kind of policy, legislative, governmental stuff, I also wanted to assure you that the people who should be working on that, who know what to do about that, they are also on it. I have heard from them directly. So I just think all of those pieces are really important for those of you who are super involved in this space to have as a, you know, ammunition out there, because I really personally believe, just as I do with futures, that it's really important that we take our responsibility really seriously. And the fact that we kind of all understand what's going on, we need to remain incredibly patient with all the humans around us. There's going to be a whole bunch of them freaking out in a real short order. And it's going to be because, you know, there's no more people at the McDonald's. There's no more people at the gas station. There's no more people at the grocery store. They can't file any paperwork. All of this stuff becomes AI. It all becomes digital, and just be loving. So that's the most important thing, is as much as you're enjoying this community in here, try to extend it to everybody, because if we don't, we're going to have really big challenges. That's what's going to go epically wrong. It's not the AI fucking us. Because here's the other thing, you know,
it's the humans. It's always the humans.
I mean, seriously, at the labs, we always say the biggest problem, the humans, period. There's no bigger problem in the world. It's the humans. But you know what we also say? The biggest solution, it's the humans. Every single time. There's no technology, it always changes. So that's the other thing. If you have people who are like, I'm afraid of all this taking over my life, we turn on the electricity. It's all good, man. We can unplug it. And by the way, nature, she's taking over anyway. So don't worry about these little machines that we plug into the wall and everything. You know, like, there are people worrying about it. Worry about like nature going, I'm tired of you, and wiping us away. That's, and you know what? That's my answer in case anybody's going to ask me, because I feel like every time people are like, oh, you're a futurist. I have a teenage child. What's the job? That's the job. Weather.
Yes.
Make sure your kids always, if they don't know what to do, put them in weather, because for the rest of their days, they'll be forecasting that. Anyway, so that's my little spiel. Should I take questions, or should I just jump into the build? What do you want me to do?
Why don't we see if there's any questions? If anyone has any questions for Cyndi, raise your hand online, and Ken can manage that.
And I'm not reading the chat, so if there's something in the chat, I'm not paying attention.
And then we'll do this till like 6:30. We'll do this to the bottom of the hour, and then we can do the arts and crafts thing you want to get going.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions in Denver that you want to start with, or?
Yeah, I got 2 here. So go ahead. Just speak loud enough so they can hear.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't really like a theory, but or whatever. It's more just like, it seems like despite the speed of things, technology, it seems like it's still super slow in the fact that, you know, we still have this labor shortage of teenagers willing to, you know, work fast food and, you know, whatever. So it's like, you know, why isn't the thing speeding up quick enough so that we can solve this, you know, labor shortage in the short term, so that we can actually speed up with innovations in other things, you know, free up humans to do human shit.
What was is there a question?
Well, yeah, it's like, why is things moving so slow?
Oh, okay.
Some areas, like, it seems like, wow, Chat GPT just released all these things that's like super advanced, but yet you still go to the, you know, local fast food restaurant. It's like, oh, hey, we're shutting down because we don't have enough employees. So it's like, hey, where's all the machines to, you know, replace those teenagers so that we can, again, get humans to do human stuff.
Well, I mean, the main thing I'll say is, you know, you may have missed me a second ago when I said the humans are the problem. So what's going on is we just accidentally went really fast. And the really fast happened because the pandemic was a forced multiplier. And, you know, of course, there were people who completely knew it was coming. But I know the friends, they warned us just, you know, in advance as much as they could. People knew it was coming, but not the people who are creating technology, you know. And also, you gotta go slow, because the other part is you have to have empathy towards human beings. And McDonald's knows better. You know, they have a program where they put kids through college.
Right.
And, you know, if suddenly McDonald's said, January 2024, there'll be no more people, what do you think people would do? They would boycott McDonald's. They would say the monster machine's taking over. Like, it's got a slow roll for the publics because they are sensitive, and they're sensitive for a reason. I mean, they're hesitant because, you know, there's a joke of, hi, we're here from the government and we're going to help. Like, that's a joke for a reason, and everybody knows it. And like, it feels like it's taking people's jobs, because right now, today it is. But all of those people organically, I mean, you know, here's the thing. Just to answer that, and then I'll take another question. Think about years and years ago in the early to mid 2000s, I would say mid 2000s, when everything was bumping on Craigslist and no one thought anything about like, what's this? And now if you deconstruct that, you can understand that no one imagined all of the new career jobs that would come out of that. You know, Airbnb came out of that, and Uber and rideshare and food delivery and dating apps, and everything we think about now that are jobs came out of stuff like that. So it's important to remember that even people who we think, well, they're only working at McDonald's. Yeah. And like 8 years ago, they never imagined they could be driving their own car on their own time, making their own decisions, delivering either food if they want or groceries if they want. So that's what I would say is you got to move at the speed of the humans, because man, they can only handle so much. And you know, I will tell you, the exercise I'm going to do tonight is a tiny little to get people to sort of feel what it feels like to go into the future. And I'll express how that works. And it's kind of really hard to get people to even think about their own future. So asking them to think about, how do I fit into the new economy? They can't. They just show up in their services and things there, like Uber and stuff.
Yeah. All right, great. Let's do one more online, Ken.
All right. Ann Murphy, go ahead.
Okay, Cyndi, this was great. So for the publics that we are related to, with Thanksgiving holiday around the corner, do you have some talking points for us potentially?
Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, that's such a good question.
It's such a good
question. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just what I started out with, honestly, which is you can joke with them as much as you can push them and say, oh, are you now, if you're afraid, are you now like serving in national security spaces where you're taking this on? You can absolutely, you know, encourage them by saying, just like with every technology, there are people who are paying attention. Also tell them, yeah, shit's gonna go wrong. You bet. So be diligent. Yeah. I mean, what am I most worried about right now? I'm worried about, you know, all of the my mother is 78 examples of now her phone's doing this without her wanting to, and all the shit that accidentally happens. So I feel like it's really important for us, again, to hold grace, be loving, be patient, and just recognize that this feels like, you know, Blade Runner shit to people. They are definitely uncomfortable. And if you can just be humorous, if that's a space you can play in, do it. You know, I think you give me a good idea, and what I'll do, what I'll do in the next few days, and I'll put it in the Discord, is like some fun talking points, because I do think, you know, and then other people add to it too. I mean, it doesn't need to just be me. I know I recognize names on here. I know there are other people who can do this too. I just think it takes us as a community, and I think you should, you know, just do your best to try to, oh, let me say one example. You just made me think of something, Anne, that I try something like this. Okay. So in my digital equity space, when people are trying to get people who have never used the internet to understand and want to engage in the internet, they just say, like, what are you interested in? So if somebody says travel, then you just guide them onto the internet and you show them all the things they can do with travel. And they go, oh my gosh, neat. I can watch all these videos on YouTube. Cool. Okay. So parallel to that in the, AI world is, I'm like looking around. My husband, who is a ceramicist, who is not interested in any of this whatsoever. He is an artist through and through. He likes to make things with his hands. So what I did with him to just go, let me just show you what this can do. My daughter bought a 1982 flatbed pickup truck that had some spray paint on it, and they wanted to figure out how to get that off. And I said, stop. Let's go over to AI, put it in. And we sat there and all the way through the links to Amazon, and we ordered the products. That had nothing to do with his art, because he doesn't want to talk about his art in this space. But to have him and my oldest daughter have a project they're working on, and for me to say, watch this, and then the YouTube videos came in, everything for them, I packaged it up, I put it in their email, and I was like, here you go. So he's not going to use it tomorrow, but it made him able to see, like, oh, okay, so it's kind of like an advanced search where it finds it all at once. Okay, got it. So maybe you can do things like that during Thanksgiving. Maybe you can do really light demos, like, ooh, let's see if it can figure out grandma's stuffing recipe. And that's what I would do.
This will make it easier to provide helpful input to the chefs. I can just say, well, Chat GPT said that you might want to put the turkey back in the oven. Yeah. This is good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really funny.
All right. Should I start with building stuff?
Let's go build stuff.
Let's build stuff, because I like to make stuff. I'm a maker, so I talked enough. And so gear up we're going to do some visual making. So whatever you use, if you use, Midjourney or DALL-E 3, or if you don't have anything at all, go try to muddle your way through on Canva or
Ideogram.
Ideogram, thank you. So wherever you go, go there. And I am going to walk you through what I really like to call, because of my friend Kate Sutton Johnson, who pointed this out to me. This work is a hack. It's an empathy hack, so that you can really visit the future without feeling like you're sending yourself. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to build a future scout. And what I want to say to you is just do whatever you're doing in your creative space. And then as we make things, you can go over in the Discord and drop them in the show and tell.
Yep, I'm going to show that right now, Cyndi, just so they can see it.
Share it again. And then, but don't overly worry about super following along with me, because Kyle is going to drop everything I'm saying to you into the share space everywhere. So you'll have it. All right. So let's go. So first of all, this is what I want to ask of you. I want to ask that you have a futures mindset. So I'm going to do a walkthrough. And what you're going to experience is your scout is something you can use again and again. The process of future casting and threat casting has you use empathy to build a person in a place experiencing an event, which is what you're going to do tonight. What you're not going to participate in is the other juicy bits on either end. We do lots of research and then synthesize it usually in the beginning. And I share that just for the data nerds. And that's kind of like what's going to happen tonight is you're going to step into my restaurant and I'm going to give you this menu. But do know that normally in this kind of process, there's a lot of work to open the restaurant, choose what's on the menu, prepare everything. So that would be pre-done. And then what you're missing at the end is normally we would actually collect data together. We would actually, you would give me everything you create, and then our team would analyze that and produce outcomes. But instead, we're just going to play. So bring your mindset as a futurist, which means you're just going to say to yourself, I choose to be an active participant in my future. And you want to imagine the future that you would like to see. Okay? Keeping in mind, the future is never built normally by one person. It's a very diverse space and it takes everybody to build it together. So tonight you're going to build your own unique individual futures, but normally you'd want to push those together. Okay.
Well, we'll put them together on the Discord.
Well, we will. We will. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to mention at the top is the process you're about to step into is really walking also through the notion of world building. So world building is kind of like a movie, like Blade Runner or Minority Report or Harry Potter, right? These are all constructed worlds that people have spent time. So you're going to do a little tiny mini version of that, but normally we would build out really, really far in that. Okay, so step one, you need to choose your time horizon. In my world, we usually use 10 years because you can think of yourself a decade ago. You can think of yourself a decade from now. Political has changed for the most part over 10 years. Economic things have changed. That's the normal when you're doing the day job. But I'm going to encourage all of you to take a time horizon far, far out so you can have more fun in your visuals. So pick a date for yourself out in the future that you want to send your scout. Okay, that's step one. Now, set the dial on your time machine to that date. Does everyone have a time machine? Oh, shit. Okay. Step one, please, or step two, I guess, because you don't all have a time machine. Get into your generative AI and ask it to build you a time machine for tonight. So the first image you should create for yourself is your own time machine. I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm going to give everybody a chance to type into your whatever you're using, whichever generative AI. Design a time machine. And with that also, I'll take a drink, like I said. Also, I'm going to share okay. So this is the show and tell. So when things start to go, is that a time machine? Ah, look at that. So much fun. So that is, everyone should have a time machine. We'll take that over there. All right. All right, now I'm, let's see. Oop. Sorry. Let's go back to show and tell. Oh, there's more. Look at the time machines, y'all. So much fun. Yay. Okay. Okay. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm going to keep that rolling so we can see the time machines come in. And while that's happening, I'm just going to begin to talk to set your mindset. The next thing you are going to begin to build is your scout. To build your scout, you are absolutely going to have to deploy your imagination. Okay? Give yourself a minute. Think about the visual and textual persona of someone you would like to send out in the future. This does not need to be you. This can be someone on your behalf. And in fact, it's better if it is, so that you don't imbue this thing with your own, and it can be anything. So think about the characteristics of your scout. Are they a futuristic detective in a neon lit city? Are they a botanical scientist in a lush green protopia? Your imagination here. So when you're ready, head into your oh my God, these, except I gotta pause. Look how great these are. And we even have, look at this. It's so much fun.
So cool.
Oh my God, so cool. This, get it. Oh my gosh, fantastic. Okay, so when you're ready to step into your generative AI for your scout, you want to create an image. Oh, that's fabulous. Create an image, and you want to fill in as many details as you can. So you want to think about gender, age range, appearance of your future scout. Is there a genre and a theme you could put to it? Colors that would matter for you? What does the character embody professionally and personally? Think about what the person is wearing. Do they have clothes from different types of materials, interactive, responsive elements? Wear a suit with technical gadgets or tools designed for some specific task or exploration. Think about all the things that could be around them, lighting. We're starting to see some folks come in. For those of you who have already made your scout, while others continue to work on that, go back into your AI and ask it to give you 25 woo, awesome. 25, once you're done with your scout, those of you who are there now, ask it to give you 25 possible names for your scout. So the idea behind it giving you 25 possible names, I'm just going to share that I've included that because when you work with us in the lab working on futures, we have a lot of data that has to be synthesized, and then we use that data as prompts for creation of the narratives. But there can be up to 100 lines of data that somebody would have to choose from. So the way that we do that is we randomize. So if we're in person, we do this super nerdy thing of using 60-sided dice, which is super fun. And if we're virtual, we use online randomizers. Like if you go to calculator.net, it'll randomize for you. So I just want to express that because that's a really fun tool too, that if you ever get overwhelmed in this space, Or if you talk to anybody who is playing around and then suddenly so much happens that they get really overwhelmed, encourage people to do random things to just select something to stay in. So once you have your name and you picked it, I'm going to give everybody a minute before I jump into part 2. It's so fun. Let's look at these again. I'm going to go back up a little bit. That's really cool. I love the watch as the time machine. A clear one, too. It's like future meets sort of 80s Swatch watch. All right. And look at these. Awesome, you guys. These are so cool. And look at this time machine. You got like, it's awesome. Oh, look at the names. Ooh, oh, this one, he's like a butler service. At your service, ma'am. Oops. Let's see. Oh, we've got, I don't know which one's the agent here, or the scout, I mean. This one maybe. There's like more coming at them. Oh, look at this time traveler. Well, hello. He's like from Outlanders. Is that what that show's called? Oh, look at this one. He's got like the Peter Pan fairy as his guide. That's awesome. That looks like a holographic portal traveler there. Oh yeah, I'm super into her. Look at this. She looks like the cover of a novel. Ought to be written by Chat. Yay! And I was hoping somebody would do a pet guide. That pleases me. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, it's kind of like Space Odyssey, like the big monolith, and except like a twist on that. Oh, look at this. Yeah. You know what? This one here, he throws fire from his hands. Oh, ice. Fire and ice. Yep. Ooh. Is this the portal right here? Very excited about that. Ooh, this is very Blade Runner, like coming at you. Look at her. Yeah, she's all innocent. And she will shiv you right there. Kyle, that's so sweet. And I see the little remnants of the car. It's so fun. Ooh, look at that. I mean, that's just a screenplay waiting to be written. I just see pictures like this and I'm like, who was on here earlier that said they're a screenwriter? Get together. Make that happen. Oh, I love this. See, this is so fun doing the lists because as a creative myself, this is one of my favorite things. I feel like Chat is like my buddy now because I have somebody to talk to and get ideas.
Totally.
Look at these awesome sauceness. Okay. All right. So I'm going to now give the next phase. So we have your time machine and we have your scout and we have your date you're going to. So now I need you to put that scout in the time machine and we need to send them to a place. So you need to create an environment, and I would encourage you to, wherever you made your scout, you can grab that and put that scout to the best that it'll do for you into the environment that you're going to build. So think about, do you want it to be a metropolis? Do you want it to be, I think my screen froze. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Do you want it to be, you know, nature, buildings? Think about where you want to send your person. So consider the atmosphere. Think about, you know, what kind of glow, atmosphere, air is taking place there. You know, what would your scout see, hear, feel? And think about interactions. Are there other folks there? Let's see. Also, if you're in chat at all, somebody has to shout that out to me because I'm not looking. I'm on the other screen. So putting your future scout into a place allows you to look around and see things. So while you're working on this tonight, even put in what you can, but I would really encourage you to go back into this space too and really think about what could this person you put in the future see? If there are things you're interested in, try to start to formulate, even in generative AI, things that you want that scout to look at in the future. What might they see? And if you repeat this both in visual, to say that anymore, but let it do all kinds of things. Also, use your same scout prompts and your environment prompts to also give yourself narrative. Using that can be really interesting to take it away from yourself. And I also think, you know, your more adventurous Thanksgiving family friends, this is, as I mentioned, this whole guide that I'm going through tonight, Kyle's gonna put it up so everybody can have it. And it could be a fun thing too, to do just to show people. I think that's the biggest thing, is this looking at the future and working with AI really just has everything to do with using the imagination in the realm of what's possible. And oh my God, these are so cool, you guys. Look at these. Oh my gosh, this is also cool.
That's cool.
That's crazy.
It.
Oh, wow. I want to know the story. Some of you should put what your prompts are in here because it's just so incredible.
That's so cool.
Wow. These are this is more fun than I even thought. And it really is, because I have to say, in my world, we get to this point when we get to prototypes. So we produce outcomes after we pull in all the data. That's another thing I want to say about being a futurist, to take this away if you ever have anybody ask about that. One thing that's really important is we do not predict. There's no crystal balls over here. Everything is based on a shit ton of data, science methodologies, and really great analysts. And the thing about that is it lets you produce any outcome you want. So we often produce things, if you go to threat casting at Arizona State University website, you can see we also make sci-fi prototypes, science fiction prototypes, which are graphic novels and comic books. But this has been really fun tonight because we're seeing visuals at the beginning stage. So this is awesome. Look at this. This is like swampy, but like almost underwatery. Ah, so good. Ooh, this one too, the water, the glowing. Oh, it's like Wakanda. Let's see. This dude, so is that not the same dude that was in like the city with the magic portal and now he's gone here? I'm liking him. Oh, look at this. Very
Peter Kaminsky. Dolly 3 ain't working for me at all. Luckily, I got Midjourney. That's good.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, look at this bus. Look at this clock. Ah.
Wait, is that the doctor?
Oh my God, I'm so in love with this.
That's cool.
This is so yummy to me. Oh my God, it's like Hunger Games, you know, back in the district. Ooh wee. Okay, I'm gonna run out of time. I gotta stop looking and talking. Okay, so now we gotta do the last thing. We gotta do the last step, very last step. I feel like I blew past people, but we'll come back. So the very last step, you've got to cause an event. So in my threat casting world, when we get to this point, you have now built a person with a full, beautiful life, and they are, you know, just loving the place, and you've built this whole experience. And in threat casting, I now say, ruin their lives. I need you to destroy their lives completely. So tonight, if you want to play threat casting, you can take your beautiful human and you can make it destructive and destroy it. The reason we do that, so that we can think about the things that could go really, really wrong, so that we disrupt, mitigate, and recover from them, so they never do. Or you can play tonight, event is a huge, epic, incredible opportunity, like Chat GPT making money for you or something as of yesterday. So that could be a big opportunity event that you want to enable. So think about what could be a big scenario event that's has challenges and there's encounters. So what is the event that your scout runs into in their future? And while you work on that, now I'll slowly roll through the awesome imagery. Oh my God, these are so good, you guys. This is so fun. Wow. That's like the fake islands China has built to build that big old road. That's what I feel like is going to happen on those islands where these roads connect for whatever, how many miles it is. They're all going to like expand. I'm making that up. I have no futures proof. I just, weird shit I think about. Just so nobody quote that. Ah, oh, look at this DJ. Oh my God, it's animated. Okay, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. Does it play?
Who's the overachiever? Kraggins.
What
Nice.
the hell? Look at this.
Nice.
Come on.
What's the tool, Kraggins?
What are you doing? Oh, look at our dog. Oh, thank you, Eric, for putting that in. Yeah. Meditating cyborgs. Yeah. Levitating. Category 7, purple lightning swamp hurricane with tornadoes. Damn, you joined me in the threat casting space. You were already there. Oh my gosh, this is so delightful. Wow. Oh my God, no, cats. Are they drowning? Look at this. Future city. I love future cities. Oh my gosh, this is the person, the scout in the time machine traveling. Ooh, love the portals. Love the portals. Oh, that's so great. Very Narnia goodness. Oh, there's our dude again. Yay. He's doing all this stuff, and that's how he travels. That's a happy making. Okay, we have a dark and stormy night here. We're choosing some threat spaces. Oh, a butterfly in a time machine fucked it all up. That's, you know. Well played. All right, I'm going to let you guys keep making those, and I'm just going to say the final thing we do in threat casting and future casting after everybody has built what we call effects-based models is we make them report out. And so you guys are doing that right now. But then my last encouraging piece that I had was to find someone new who isn't sick of you, and just connect in to share one really easy, basic thing about AI. I think, you know, what I want to end this demo with is just to say, I think that the responsibility we all have to try to be encouraging means we need to get our heads around. I mean, maybe everybody needs to also do an exercise where we ask chat how to lovingly talk to others. So that would be my final thought as I scroll through these. And look, right at 7, I behaved, Kyle.
You did. You were very good.
Look at these. Y'all send me your numbers if you want to threatcast sometime. Jeez. And then we have hope. We have hope. That looks hopeful. This could go either way. I don't know. There's a story there. Well, I'll stop sharing in case, Kyle, you want to wrap up and everybody can look at the Discord themselves.
Let's wrap up. But Cyndi, thank you. This was absolutely awesome. I knew it would be. Thank you so much. That was an absolute blast. So golf claps all around. Very nice. And Leah, holy crap, huh?
Her mic died.
Oh, her mic died? Oh.
She said.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you so much for doing this. This was just awesome. Thank you, everybody. Please go hang out on the Discord. Yeah, keep coming back to these. Tell other people. I love, Cyndi, what you said about have people share one thing with someone who hasn't done it. I think that's super, super important. So awesome. Thank you all. And anyone here in Denver, we can go over to drinks over at Zeppelin Station. Peace out, everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Oh no, Roger can't come to the after party.
Did you not bring your laptop, Isaac?
No, I did make one of those images.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh,